Mm.
Yeah, I came out that door right there. That door right there. And then I remember it was a Tahoe right here. Like a gray Tahoe. And then, yeah. And then I had said something to him. And then he was acting like I was fucking crazy. I don't know what the fuck he was. But I walked off down this way, boop. Bing. Walked off down that way. You know? But that shit ain't even a trip. Because when I was in Henderson, the motherfucking, man, that shit, okay, because when I got to Henderson, after they got me out of Henderson and off the highway, right? So boom, whoever they picked me up first, that was fucking, what is it? What's the police that picked me up first? Boulder City. Yeah, they picked me up first. Boom, just like that. And then when they found me on the highway, just like that, boom. And then, all right, I remember talking to the homeless dude right here. He was on that bench right there. Right there. Oh shit, sorry. Sorry. Look, he was on that bench right there. Yep, it was like a great tower and shit like this. Real talk. And then, boom, I got some cookies and shit from him. But still, I ended up walking this way. Boom. I think I just crossed the street right here, or whatever like that. And then, boom, I went this way. Yeah. And then I remember talking, there was a nigga like this with a sign and shit right here. But he was right here though, real shit. But then from like that, but I'm just saying though, when I was in Henderson jail, man, that shit, that was a trip. Like when they picked me up, right? So when they picked me up, they put me to the car, boom. They like, what the fuck? Cause I probably dodged like 4 semis. I probably dodged like 4 semis and probably 4 cars. You see what I'm saying? 4 semis and 4 cars. Once they finally probably closed off the freeway, whatever the fuck they did, there wasn't that many cars coming no more. You see what I'm saying? But when they brought me back to Henderson fucking jail, the motherfucker, I was trying to get like a piece of my clothing with me or something like that, cause I was naked and shit, right? So I ended up like, you know what I'm saying? I ended up scooping up my shirt. And shit to get that shit in the police car with me and shit. So I ended up getting it in there. It was like at the bottom where my legs and shit was at, right? So, okay, yeah. I walked down this way, you see what I'm saying? So I got like my shirt, like my work shirt, a piece of it on my legs and shit, right? So I'm cuffed behind the thing, or they already wait. When they got me, they was like, what the fuck you doing out here? Whatever, you naked nigga, you on the highway, you dodging cars, whatever the fuck they said, whatever. Boom, they throw me to the, you know what I'm saying, whatever they do, what they do. They do their little job and shit else like that, whatever. And then, those niggas in the middle of the highway. So I'm like, boom, they was like, what's the fuck wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? What's wrong with you? Whatever. I ain't saying shit though, you know what I'm saying? I think I said nothing was wrong with me or something, some shit like that. I don't remember what the fuck I said. But and then I don't know, I'm just steady thinking whatever I'm thinking on that walk when I was walking up that motherfucker. But they get me to the car, whatever, and then I don't know, I deny the ambulance and shit. I deny the ambulance, go back to Boulder City, take me back to Henderson jail and shit. Boom. I get the little shirt. I got my shirt now. I'm naked. I got my shirt to like right here. I didn't slip my cuffs before. I fuck around, you know, in Cali, fucking with them sheriffs. They didn't arrest a nigga so many times, you know. I be slipping my cuffs on their ass in my drunk days like a motherfucker. I'm telling you, that shit crazy motherfucker. But I'm telling you, I pull my cuffs like to right here. My shirt is like right here, like this. So we driving back to the jail and shit, and he steady looking back like, hey, you better not slip them fucking cuffs. And then by the time, he he hurry up and got off the freeway and boom, hurry up and got to Henderson jail and shit. So boom, by the time he pulled up at Henderson jail, I already got the shirt to where I got the motherfucker, like, I got it in my mouth now. Now it's in my mouth, but my hands is still tied, you know what I'm saying, tied behind my shit. So boom, they get me out the car and shit like that. And then I ended up, I think they got me on the ground and stuff, because I remember I was on the ground, and I had the shirt in my mouth. I wouldn't let that motherfucker go, and they ripped the motherfucker out ripped it out my mouth, and I had a piece of that shit, and I swallowed it. I swallowed my shirt and shit, right? I swallowed my shit, and then boom, they take me into the jail and shit like that, and then they take me into the jail. I guess they put me in a little padded room and shit like that, because like certain little periods and shit, like I black out, like in and out and shit like that. It was all kind of shit. It was all kind of shit from like all the movies and shit I seen. Like you seen Shawshank Redemption and all that shit. Like Shawshank Redemption and like fucking the Django and all that shit. Like all kind of shit. All the shit from like all kind of shit just kind of mixed in. All kinds, because I done been to Henderson jail before, and I remember banging on them doors like a motherfucker, banging on that one door because they put a nigga in that back cell before. I was on that door probably for a long ass time, and then I ended up laying my ass down. You know what I'm saying? Because I know I probably was either drunk or something and just was banging on the door because they put me all the way in the back. So all that shit came into play too. You see what I'm saying? With the little trip that I was having in Henderson jail though. You see what I'm saying? That's what it was. The little trip. All the shit that happened, it pretty much came to mind in my head. Like everything, me from banging on that door and everything just came into play. Me from not that little commercial, from the shut the fuck up shit, everything from that, all that Facebook shit, everything, all that shit, like shut the fuck up, don't say nothing to the police, shut the fuck up, all that shit, everything, all kind of shit, everything. So, you know what I'm saying? It was like a little line and shit on there. I guess that was the point to where I was banging on that motherfucker at one point in time, and then I do like I get up like in and out, like coming out of my little like my little blanket and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Cold shit though. I had put shit on the wall, all kind of shit. I was in there tripping, and I had to do like this little shit. It was this little thing that I had to do. It was like it was kind of counting down, like after like I came from out there in the when I was walking so far, it came to where like the time was coming up to where I was getting closer to finishing some kind of task that I wasn't supposed to finish. You see what I'm saying? I wasn't supposed to finish this task, and I was really getting close to finishing this task, and I wanted to finish the motherfucker, and I finished it somewhat, but I didn't finish it, but I don't know, but I'm just saying though, everything that I had to do, you see what I'm saying? Everything that I had to do, it was like, and everything that I had to do, it had some kind of purpose or some kind of meaning or some kind of shit. It had all kind of shit from like Nipsey. It had all kind of shit from like shut the fuck up, that fucking the Django shit with Samuel Jackson screaming about you uppity niggas. It had that old fuck Trump shit. I'm talking about I had to point my finger to say about fucking Trump and like my lifeline and all this other shit. Like I had to keep covering up the drain. I had to like the drain in the cell. Like I had to keep covering it up. It was like a circle. It was like certain little marks on my legs and shit, like birthmarks and shit, all kind of shit. Like I was all kind of shit. But every time I did something right, the shit had changed about how like motherfuckers had to have something and everything else like that. Motherfuckers don't know about what we had or some shit. Like it was crazy about like what we had and where we came from and how these motherfuckers took that shit because we didn't know how to shut the fuck up. We didn't know how to shut the fuck up and not trust the motherfucker, and just all you gotta do is just shut the fuck up, and just as long as you shut the fuck up, you'll be alright. Just shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up. That's all it was about. It was about just shutting the fuck up, not saying nothing to the fucking police. Like just that's all it was like. It was crazy. It was like from the Django shit, just shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up. It was like, it's just crazy, like, because I kept looking up at them. Everything had changed, like, when I closed my eyes and everything. Like, I closed my eyes, I look up, like, a motherfucker was trying to snipe me. I could hear the people, like, I could hear the deputy and shit. Like, soon as he look up, we can get him. We could get him with a certain, you know what I'm saying? It was a motherfucker that had fucked up, and he didn't know how to shoot or something, and shoot the gun right, and it was down to, like, a 22. He only could get me with a 22 or some shit like that. And, I just kept looking up. Every time I look up like this, I'm in my cell like this, but I got the green thing the little covering shit covering me up. So every time I look up like this, I couldn't really make eye contact with him. if I made eye contact with them, like they'll be able to pop me or something like that. That's how it was. Like they'd pop me or something like that. I only could make a certain move and say some shit if like I was asshole naked in the cell or something, and I yell that shit. I get the yelling shit, and then the dude next door in the other cell, he yelling shit about, oh, I'm a baby killer and all this other shit. If you try to help him, he ain't. It was all kind of shit. It was all kind of shit. They were just trying to get me to kind of look up to make me do something to where they could just kill me right then and there because I was getting too close to what motherfuckers needed to know or some shit like that. It was crazy. That's how it was when I was in the jail cell. You know what I'm saying? That time that I was in the cell and shit. Like, little marks and shit on the ground. Like, I'm covering up. I'm trying to see it, like, through the light and all kind of shit. It was all kind of shit, man. When I squatted, when I was in the county, in Wayside, all that shit. It was crazy. Everything for me. The prison, everything for my... Everything. Just everything came into play when I was in the county jail and just going through that trip and that motherfucker. And then after a while, I kind of completed the little task, and I came down. It was like almost down to like 1, 2, or 3. It was 1, 2, 3. It was like, wait, 1, 2, 3, and then you close your eyes, and then I made it down to the 0, 0. But if I look at a motherfucker, like, I'd be like, you got down to 0, 0, that's the last little thing. You did this to 0, 0, like that. And then you make it kind of through. And then it came down to the motherfuckers asking me, like, do you, do I don't want to get out or something like that. I completed that shit or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I completed that, did that. Because I'm jumping back and forth from certain points and lines. I'm pulling the little green cover in my shirt and shit. They trying to tell me to give them my shirt because whatever my shirt got whatever it is for me to have my shirt is doing something and it's fucking with them because they need something they need my shit. They need to take my shirt and shit because he kept asking me, like, you need to give me that shirt. You need to give me that shirt. But I wouldn't give him the shirt. You see what I'm saying? I needed the shirt. Everything was around my clothing or my shirt or some shit like that. That's what it was. Something like that. And I'm telling you, when I got down to like a certain point, I stripped naked and I say, you uppity niggas, and whoop whoop like that Denzel shit, like, the Django, you uppity ass nigga. And then, oh boy, he just kept trying to get me to, the nigga in the cell next to me, he kept getting me to like, break the law or some shit. Like I was a law-abiding citizen or some shit like that. Like he was just saying, like, you uppity ass nigga, you whoop whoop like this and like that. It was just crazy. Like, I'm telling you, it was crazy in there. Then I finally, once I kind of started nodding and shit like that, talking to the motherfuckers, like when they told me, like, when they told me about the bail, like somebody bailing me out like shit, and then I kind of started trusting the motherfucker. I'm doing my little head nod and shit like that, like, but I'm still not talking to the deputies and shit like that. I'm still not talking to them. But I came to trust one. It wasn't a white cop. It was just these two black ones. They was like, you come over and talk to them. Two black cops. And then one black cop, he was like, man, you know Tiffany Beverly? I'm like, yeah, man. And then I didn't even say, yeah, man. I just like, and then I just broke down crying and shit. The other black dude was like, what's wrong with you? You're like, it's all right. And then I broke down crying. He was like, man, he was like, just say, he was like, just nod. He was like, just nod. Do you know, woo woo? And it was like, all right, we got you bailed out, woo woo. And then we're going to take care of everything. But I wasn't talking. I was just nodding like that, you know what I'm saying? Nodding and doing my little shit, you know what I'm saying? Doing my little, and all that shit, nodding, yeah, and doing this and doing that. And then, boom, they was like, they got my bail, and then I got out the cell. I remember crying and shit like that. They put me into another cell like that. And then I remember they bringing my stuff, and I waited for a little bit. But I still wasn't talking. I wasn't like banging on the doors or nothing like that. I just was waiting to get the bail, get out, or whatever like that. And then I just remember what he said. They bailed. I had my bail, and then I don't know. And even when I was in there, like all the deputies, like everybody just started, like they was leaving. Once I got past like a certain little task, most of them was like leaving. It was like they was closing up shop. It was like they was closing up shop because I was getting closer to finding out something. You see what I'm saying? Like that's how it was. Like every time I make past the task or whatever, they was closing up shop. Certain amount of them was leaving. Like this nigga getting closer and closer to fulfilling something that we don't need him to know. You know what I'm saying? That's how it was. For real. Every time I completed something, it was like it was a task that I was completing. I was getting closer and closer to coming to something. The sun was well, I think it was getting closer and closer because I was out all night. I remember because I kept waking up. And I remember looking over there and I could see it was kind of early morning, then it kind of later in the day. As far as many tasks as I was doing, I mean, I ain't gonna tell you like as many tasks as I was doing because I'm telling you it's a long ass story, man. As many tasks and shit as I had to do, and all kind of shit. It's crazy. Like you was in there about the task and all kind of shit. You was in there about the task. You can complete the task because you scared of butterflies and shit like that, Tiff. As soon as you jump or soon as you move or something like that, you'll probably jump and fuck off. You see what I'm saying? That what got you to where you couldn't, you probably said something, you didn't shut the fuck up. You didn't shut the fuck up because that bug scared you. That bug, like, you got scared because of that bug and that it put you in some kind of fright, so you fucked up or some shit like that. Like, that's what they wanted to know, like, what was my fear? What was my fear? They couldn't figure out what was my fear. What was my fear? What was my fear? Like, what was my fear of this and what was my, like, fear with that? Because that's how you was in it in one part, because I remember you telling me, like, damn, I fucked up on doing it because the damn butterflies and shit like that. And then I steady was doing my shit and everything else like that, kept on doing it and just not, and shutting the fuck up and everything else like that. And then, boom, that's what, like, happened in Henderson jail and shit like that. It's a lot more, but that shit take fucking forever. That's what I'm saying. I just want to tell this shit one more time, because that was a long-ass fucking night. For real. Damn, I'm telling you, that was a long-ass night. If I could think of, like, there's so much shit that I gotta think about. It's crazy. Like, all the shit that went on, like, in my head when I was in that cell. Shit. That shit was crazy. That shit was a tripping fucking one. I'm telling you, just all that shit that when I went through in that cell, that's what the tripping part. I'm telling you, man, my shit was all fucked up. I was cold as fuck, like a motherfucker. I only had that green shit, and I'm trying to keep this little piece of shirt and shit, and trying to keep, you know what I'm saying? That shit was crazy. I wake up, I fall asleep, get up and do little tasks and shit like that. Make sure I look at the COs and shit walking by. The little vent got to open it a little more and closing. It was crazy, man. For real shit. But that's what it was, going through that shit in fucking Henderson. It's like, motherfucker, but I can't. It's a lot. That's for real. But yeah, when I got out, I walked that path and came across the motherfucking street right here. Boom. I still ain't saying nothing. I think I still got the little orange little shoes from Henderson. The motherfucker, when they put me out, they're like, yeah, you know, we get down out here. You probably want to just get off the city, or some shit. The motherfucker said, I don't know. He said some old slick shit. Whatever. But I remember what he said, because I remember I was like, let me get the fuck up out of Henderson. I already know how fucking Henderson get down. So, you know what I'm saying? Do what you do. And then I remember crossing the street. Boom. I came across right here. I think wait, was it right here? No, it wasn't right here. Because I remember, I walked down a little bit more. Because I remember the thing right here. Wait, was it? Some kind of little. That's it. That's it right there. That's it right there. That's it.
Hey, Jen, we need to sell our home. Do you know a great agent?
I do. We just sold with a local Redfin agent. It was awesome. And we gave a 1% listing fee because we bought our new home.
1%. Our Redfin agents full service.
Only our Redfin agent
fucked up and I'm fucking around and get pulled up again. They gonna snatch a nigga like this nigga out here again fucking around with this goddamn fucking with us. Nigga.